Struggling with prop firms? Let's go.
Now, answer me this question, right? How useful is Spider-Man going to be, right, if there was no skyscrapers in New York City, right? No buildings around him whatsoever, and you pick him up and you put him in the Sahara Desert. How useful is he going to be in the desert? Let's be honest. You know, other than his huge jumps, but other than that, you know, his web slinging days are going to be over. This is basically what we are doing, you know, when we are drawing zones, right? Our job is to find these skyscrapers. Let's just say assume price is like Spider-Man, right? These zones here are the buildings. We are trying to detect where those buildings are, what we believe is the strongest building, that when he slings, you know, when he swings, looks for support, I should say. When he looks for support, you know, which buildings he should try to get hold of, you know, which zone is going to react the best. Now, for example, another thing you got, I should have got a little bit off track, is do you even actually know your setups, right? The zones are one thing. Do you even know what setups you're looking for? And this is basically going to be the topic of the video, right? Let me just move myself so you can focus better on the charts. So what I've seen is when I even speak to my one-to-one students is in the mentorship, you know, but the link will be in the video description. Excuse me, is they don't have a setup in mind. They don't even have certain candlestick patterns in mind for entries. They don't have a you know, whether you're taking impulse entries or not impulse entries, however you take your entries, I don't care. They don't actually have, you know, answer to pretty much all their questions. They don't know what questions to ask yet. Now here, this example over here, right? We can see price. They don't look at the structure here. Another thing people fail to understand: why, when you see look at this, price is creating new highs, higher lows, new highs, higher lows. Why on earth would you be thinking of a sell? And trust me, some people out there will be like, yeah, you know, we got this huge bearish, a little bit of volume here, we need to focus on sells, even though the overall structure is showing that we are bullish. Price could be just retracing a little bit just to create a higher low. Does that mean that overall, you know, there's a shift? Excuse me. Overall, if you want to start focusing on sells, ideally this would be, you know, 1 minute, let me just mark up one more. Ideally, if price came after all this bearish here, right, this would be a little bit of an early sign, right? Just got broken here, and you know, but ideally if these got broken, even this is much better, right? Because think about it, watch this, let's draw this out even so you can see more visually, right? Price comes, let's just say this was a bullish push towards the downside, right? Price comes here. Now this would be, if you know, could take the trade from here and then market falls here, that could work, right? But then we're still finding all this bullish, you know, all this bullish volume here. If price comes down here and then comes up, oh, one moment, just one moment please. Price comes down, breaks through here, and then comes down. So let me delete this so you can see more clearly. Look at this, right? Comes down here. We've already beaten all this bullish. Look at the strength of this bullish volume as well. All bullish candles. All bullish candles. So this battle has already been won. And this is how you got to look at as well, right? You got to look at, this is stage 1. So let's mark it out like this. This is one area that we need to battle, right? So this is all bullish. For me to start focusing on sells, we need to conquer all this. So this this range, if you want to call it, right? This range, we've got a little bit of a range over here as well, right? Look at this, bearish volume does come in, but then this level acted as support, and then it continued pushing further up. But remember this, all this was bearish. First we was in a bearish trend, the trends within trends, right? So on the bigger time frame, whatever this may look like, it doesn't matter. On the 1 hour, we're in a bearish trend. Price now has created a reversal. What was the early sign? Look at this. Price creates a low, higher low, comes down, creates a low. Not obviously, you know, from this point you can see a little minor you know, lower low, higher low, and then price just creates a new low again, right? A little bit high low, low again, right? But look what starts happening. So we got this one first. One moment, this one first. Then we got this one. Now we're starting to see more wick rejections, and now this one does not break the law, right? It doesn't break the law. And then what happens? It starts going, got a lot of bullish candles. Clear sign, buyers are in control. Look at this one. This low, well, higher low. It's basically this. We're not breaking any lows anymore. We're not creating new lows. We're just pushing higher and higher up until this structure, this support level, right? Then act as a resistance. Price breaks through. Look at this. Look how crazy this is, right? This support here got broken through. Price tested it as the new resistance, came back down, right? Price comes up here, testing it as resistance again, breaks through, right? And look how clean this is. Now testing it as support and shoots up. So one is we've got all this no more new, you know, no new lows are being created. Price, look at all these bullish candles. We've got the volume. Price comes up here. And now you can just take a buy from this point. Obviously, I'll go on a much smaller time frame, so you can even look at the entries. Just go on a small time frame. For Nasdaq, I pretty much have a very tight stop loss. For me, even 400 is big. It's almost double to what I use. And then this is like a 1 to 8. But I mean, how fast would you even hit these numbers? So let's put it even on a 1 to 8. It's a matter of, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Let's put this over here. 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's an 8 grand trade. What if you risk 1% on a 100k account? Even if you risk 0.5% on a 100k account, that's 4k, 4 grand. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Again, understanding structure. Right? Price doesn't do all this for no reason. Right? It's always going to leave a story. It's always going to shape out a story. It's our job, you know, as detectives, as and another thing as well. It's crazy, right? Someone sent me a screenshot in the Discord community, one-to-one, saying, "Hey, bro, where do you think market's going to go in the next 2 days?" Let me be the first one to tell you. I don't even know where the market's going to go in the next few hours, right? When so it's a Sunday today, right? Market's going to open in the next few hours. So you know, obviously agent session is going to start first, but I don't even know where market in the, you know, if it's going to go flying all the way higher or is it going to come tumbling down. No one can ever tell you. If they tell you, you know, they're wrong, right? It's impossible. Market will always do whatever it wants to. The only thing I can do is react in the moment to what price is currently showing me, right? I can't do like, for example, like from here, right? Support level was created, price that's going further up here. Yes, that's because I can speak on behalf of, you know, what price is showing me in the present moment. I can't say, for example, if you know, price is down here, right? Well, let's say down here, and I'm like, yeah, in you know, 6 hours, price is going to be down here in 6 hours. No. That's not gonna hurt. That's not, you know, that's not trading. That's not even gambling. That's that's just being, you know, that's hallucinating. So let me just sort this out. So we got, obviously, now remember, now we understand, and this is what I want to go over as well, because people don't understand structure, right? And once you understand structure itself, you can look at the bigger time frames and all that. But trust me, even you don't have to go that far out. It is structure itself is like you know, painting a picture of giving you a hint where price could possibly go. Well, not even where it could possibly go, is where price, like here, right? We can create new highs, higher lows. It's showing us where it would like to go. Our job is basically to see where, you know, and obviously you want to buy a price where it serves you best, right? If price is creating highs, do I want to buy that from you? No, I always want to retrace a little, right? And then where, you know, get price at its best point, and then, you know, I create retrace a little when it's trying to create a higher low, and then take my entry. Does that make sense? The funny thing is that higher low will usually be when price has done a breakout and it's coming back down to retest. Funny enough, right? Vice versa for if you're taking sells. Now in this case over here, let me just delete these. So I just want to go over. So this was obviously just speaking about over obviously what would what would need to shift for me focus on sells. Just wanted to go over this one over here. So what happens over here? Price is getting new highs, new high over here. Price comes down here. Don't get me wrong, we've just broken through some levels, right? But again, that does not mean now I want to start focusing on sells, right? It'll be very, very stupid for me to do so. When price breaks through these, and look at this huge long wick rejection. It's a bearish candle, but still, it is a rejection. At the end of the day, it does not matter. You know, if this is obviously if this is bullish, it's even way stronger. But this is what this tells me is sellers were in complete control. They come all the way down here. Buyers were like, hey, you got no business being down here. Push price all the way back up. Next candle, boom, bullish. Let's go on a small time frame. Look at this, a engulfing bullish candle. Not only that, what else do we see? A inverted head and shoulder pattern. All signals for buyers, you know, for a buy, or buyers are creeping in, whatever you want to call it. Highs, higher low. Price comes here now. You might be like, okay, high over here. Price has failed to break the previous high. We've actually got resistance. We've actually got double top. Now this must mean we're taking a sell, right? No. Trading, I want you to understand, involves three things, right? Obviously, let's put risk management, psychology, and all that to the side. Over the years, I've recognized this: patience, discipline, risk management. Again, put risk management and all that, to the side, psychology and all that. And I was going to say sacrifice, but then again, because people don't understand this, right? Patience and sacrifice, they're kind of on the same line, right? If you're being patient, you can have options to all the other things that distract you throughout in your day, but then you got to be patient, just to stay away from it. But that's also, you don't sacrifices in there, and if you bring in sacrifice, it also brings in patience as well. But what I want to go over, right, is that basically, how well do you know your patterns, right? There's a ways to backtest. Trust me, how many people even backtest the wrong way? It's crazy. They think they're putting all these hours in. They think they're doing everything right. But it's about, if someone says to me, right, hey man, I spend 10 hours on the charts per day. I'm doing all this, I'm backtesting like this. I would be like, how effective are those 10 hours though? Are you looking at the right things, right? Are you doing everything that you possibly can that would imitate, live scenarios? Because there's, it's crazy. What would actually the pressure, right? Demo accounts are all great. They really, of course, they're super helpful. But my thing is this now, that you rather practice on at least a 5k account, the absolute minimum profit account. Why? Because it will naturally bring the added pressure. Naturally, it brings pressure, right? And it's super important, because that's one thing you can't teach: how to maintain handle pressure. Strategy easy to teach, everything like that, but one thing you can't teach is how to that's only time will teach that. Only time. In terms of setups, right? Are you familiar with your setups, right? Just because there's 3 sessions or 4 sessions to trade, does that mean well, the most notorious ones are Asian, London, New York session. Are you just gonna trade every single one, right? Are you gonna get zero sleep? Obviously, no, that's not how you should be. Some people trade only 1 session. I trade 2 sessions. I trade more than 1 trading instrument. I have multiple trading instruments. I know my setups. I know what I'm looking for. My biggest edge is trading my zones, the quality of my zones, and that's obviously where I teach. Now, obviously, again, it's all in the proofs in the pudding. This is link will be in the video description. You know, with the you know, like it's when you come to the community, guys, you're gonna see tons and tons of information, and so again, it's all about transparency, right? Payouts, not all payouts, but you know, passing challenges comfortably. I'm always showing that, you know, passing challenges in 1 or 2 days, a few trades. When it comes to payouts and all that, I'm very private like that. No one needs to know how much I earn. That's only between myself and me. You know, sometimes some of the students do show that, but you know, obviously that's up to them. But when all I like to do is just to show that, you know, how to simplify trading, and the edge comes in different shapes and forms and different strengths, levels of strength. If you know what you're doing, then of course, like, long story short, if you have all the data, right? If you have all from backtested data, right? If you know what setup you're looking for, right? If I'll give you an example, let's break this down. We see, obviously, you know, structure, new highs, new you know, highs being broken and all that. We see higher lows, so obviously we're bullish, right? We see the huge bullish volume candle here. Is, you know, we thought, okay, we're taking a buy. Now look at this. Once you know your entry signal pattern, right? So what's yours? This one, you can have many engulfing candlestick patterns here, bullish engulfing. You can have this one, a very, very powerful long wick rejection bullish candle, right? You can have that as the entry signal. And again, pick only one time frame. Don't go down to like or even maximum 2. Don't have, like, you know, let's look at the continuation bullish candle, the free white soldier, I believe they call it. Another one here. Look at this one over here. Just one moment. Another long wick rejection bullish candle over here. You can use this for entries as well, right? Also, not just that, you got your head and shoulder pattern over here, right? You got a head and shoulder pattern here. So this was obviously the breakout. Some people might be like, oh no, this is a bearish signal, I need to get out. I just no. Well, also remember, in the live moment, what's he showing you here? This completes the right shoulder, but then what happens here? You start getting bullish candles over here. It's also created a double bottom. The double bottom came after the head and shoulders. The head and shoulders formed first, so you can say yes, maybe for temporarily it was a, you know, maybe there's a chance sellers could have tanked the market much further down, breaking through these zones. Buyers come in, they complete a double bottom pattern. That's your chance to get in and take, you know, focus on buys. Again, focus on one thing only. And then what happens over here? Head and shoulder pattern here, but it doesn't really mean anything. It's not happening to near the closest zone. It's happening above support. Over here, we get a inverted head and shoulder pattern. Again, what does this mean? This pattern over here formed after, is the most present pattern. I formed after this. This one, I'm only focusing on buys anyway. So once this forms, I'm taking a step back. Once this one forms, you take the buy, right? Remember, know your patterns. Let me delete this. Let me actually put this further down here. What else is happening? Bullish engulfing. Not this one here. This is a good. You know, we got, well, not this is not even the best tweezer pattern. Bullish engulfing over here. Bullish, well, not this one actually. Again, bullish engulfing over here. You can take your buy after this. Have your stops a little bit below the zone and the wick. And what do you see? You know, price just shoots all the way up. I don't want to drag this video too long, but trust me, discipline, patience, risk management, you know, and knowing your patterns. Trust me, even knowing your patterns will take you such a long way, right? You're not just taking trades just because you need to, or you just want to feel like, you know, you've been productive just because you're in a trade and you can see the number on your metaphone, your mobile phone, and, you know, going up and down, blue and red and all that. No, wait patiently for your setup, right? That's where patience comes in. Trade only that setup. That's where discipline comes in, you know, and you'll see your, you know, these other little mistakes and all that, you'll naturally just take them out. Trust me, because at this, you know, you gotta shape your mind as well, your belief system. You know, you gotta have, once you find that setup, you gotta have belief in that. The setups I've shown you, you gotta have belief that, yeah, this is the one I'm only looking for because this works. Everything else, it's like marriage actually, you know. I know I'm going to be off track. Once you get married to that, the one that, you know, that one person that you can spend the rest of your life, everyone else, you know, you gotta block them out, right? And it naturally happens anyway. Because once you want the one that you actually love, right? The person that you actually, that you know, yeah, she or he is the one that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, you naturally just block everyone out. It'll happen naturally. Just like that, that signal, that your entry signal to take the trade, once you know that this is the one for me, and obviously you're going to find out from backtesting and all that, right? Once you know that this is the signal that's going to get me to making profits and making me profitable in this trade, you'll just block out everything naturally. Majority of the stuff that why do we strategy hop, right? Why do we as traders, when we first join and all that, and when it's not working for us, why do we strategy hop? Because there's no belief system, right? But there's no belief system in the strategy, there's no belief system in risk management, there's no belief system in place for taking our entries, and that's why, right? When we take free for losses, why? So we change strategies. There's no belief system in the strategy itself, in the edge, should I say, right? I should say. So yeah, try it out. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. Yeah, join the link in the video description if you want to get the course. If you want to get the one-to-one mentorship, made a super affordable course as well for basically everyone as well. 12 super detailed videos, going to be more uploaded video webinars and everything as well. Check it out. Yeah, take care, and I'm out.